What is up, ladies and gentlemen? So it is currently the month of November, and if you are a man, you know what this means. It is No Fap November. So it's got me thinking about a very popular topic, No Fap. And I started to think about what is a better alternative to No Fap, because No Fap has a lot of problems. There's one specific big issue with no fap I'm gonna get to later, and there's a bunch of other little minute issues, but there is a big problem with no fap, and we gotta talk about it. So, what is the alternative to no fap? Well, the alternative to no fap is that you can waste away all of your years jacking off, sitting in your mom's basement, making no progress whatsoever in life, losing your friends, your family, your girlfriend, all of your intimate relationships simply because you cannot stop touching yourself. I'm just kidding. There is a much better alternative, a much healthier alternative, in my opinion. First of all, let me say before I talk about the negatives and the bad things and the things I don't like about NoFap and what I think is a big issue with it, let me say this first. I think NoFap is great. I think it is an amazing movement. The fact that we have this community of men coming together and challenging each other to stick to NoFap, to restrain from masturbation, to restrain from watching porn. I think it is amazing, and I think it is necessary at this point in time where you cannot go anywhere without seeing women being sexualized. I mean, before Instagram and TikTok, it was in our commercials. So even when you watch TV, you know, what they used to say is sex sells. So we would see it everywhere in our commercials. There'd be some hint of sex everywhere. But now it is even more prevalent. You cannot go anywhere. TikTok, you open it up, you open up Instagram, you're gonna see a girl shaking her ass. Even if you're trying to stay away from it. I follow science pages on Instagram. They're supposed to just post science stuff, right? And then out of the blue, out of nowhere, they will post a girl shaking her titties or shaking her ass and then be like, oh, I found their OnlyFans. It's free for only this week or some shit like that. It's a plague and it's taken over everything, and it is not healthy for women and it is not healthy for men. So, I think NoFap is great. I think it is a great counter to this problem that we are now facing in our society. But there was a problem with NoFap. As a man who had a problem with porn and masturbation and then went on the NoFap train, I had a problem with it, and I've noticed a bunch of other guys have a problem with it. And here's the problem, is that I would go back and forth, right? And here's the reason why. I would go back and forth because I would build up this awesome streak, right? I'd be like, yo, I haven't watched porn, I haven't checked off in 160 days. I feel freaking amazing. I can see through walls right now. Here's the issue. Eventually, I would break. And sometimes it was even an accident, because sometimes I'd be edging and I'd be telling myself, it's fine because I'm not watching porn. I'm just edging. And I'd bust one. And when you have a really long streak, the amount of guilt and shame that comes with that, it sucks, right? When you're like, I was on a freaking 200-day streak and I broke it, even if it was just 30 days, like that's a long time, right? You say I'm a 30-day streak, I broke it, I feel like shit, and now I'm all the way back to zero. And what happens? Well, you say, you know what? I've already broken the streak, so let me just go ahead and enjoy this period of time where I'm no longer on a streak. And guess what? You're back to how you were before. That is the biggest problem with NoFap. Okay, so what is a better alternative? What is something I think is more sustainable, that I think is healthier? Well, here's the biggest thing, I think. I think the problem is, if you have a problem with porn and fap, the problem is you got too much time on your hands. This was my issue as a teenager. As a teenager, you're in high school, you don't really have too many responsibilities. You think you do when you're a teenager, but you grow up to be an adult and you realize you didn't have shit going on. Right? I don't care if you were playing 3 sports, you were in the academic, the glee club, whatever. You didn't have much responsibilities. So that was the problem. In high school, I just had too much time. All right? Even though I had a girlfriend, even though I was playing sports, even though I was doing activities outside of school, even though I was working while I was in school, I still had too much damn time. So the number one thing that's going to help you, it's going to be an alternative to this NoFap, is to do something that you feel like it's hard to put down. Something that you wake up and you want to get out of bed for. Something that you can't get enough of. And this can be anything. It can be reading. If you love to read, read more. But don't look at like things I already love, right? You need to try different stuff because this is a period of time where this is a perfect opportunity for you to try different stuff. I went 23 years of not knowing there were certain things that I really love because I never tried it. If you asked me at 22 years old, what do you love? I would tell you I love fitness. I love working out. And I was already doing a lot of that when I still had like this extra time. When I started making YouTube videos, started editing, I was like, this is freaking awesome. I love editing. I spent a lot of my time editing. Guess what happened when I started doing that? I won't say never, but I rarely thought about porn or jacking off. It just didn't cross my mind as much because when I started making YouTube videos, this isn't my only channel, by the way, because what I'm about to say, you're gonna be like, bro, you only have like 10 videos on here. What are you talking about? I have a different channel. It's a gaming channel. But anyways, when I started making videos, I just started constantly thinking of ideas. Oh, the title, here's a good idea for title. Here's a good idea for thumbnail. There were some points where I was posting 9 videos a day just because I was just so obsessed with the analytics, editing. I just loved the whole process. Find something that you love, that you're gonna spend a lot of time on. Because when you fill that space with something you like, something you love, then you don't have the time to even think about jacking off or watching porn. And here's the thing, let me get this straight too. I think that quitting porn is perfectly fine. I'm not gonna bag on that part of NoFap. I think that is a great decision, stopping porn. I don't think there's any problem with that. The problem I have is the actual busting a nut part, okay? Because as a man, there's sometimes where you need to bust a nut. You do, okay? You need to. Sometimes, all right? Sometimes you can't go to sleep, you bust a nut, you sleep like a baby. Next day, you're gonna wake up feeling more fresh, more productive, and technically that fact just made you more productive for the next day. You might be in a relationship, you get temptations as a man, you bust a nut, temptations are gone, relationship saved. You might be a rapist, okay? And if you are, go fuck yourself. But if you just busted a nut, then you'd be like, you know what? I think I'm not gonna do any rape today. I'm just gonna stay inside. It can save people's lives. It can save relationships. So there are times where you just need to bust a nut. And if you need to, then fucking do it. That's a much healthier alternative, in my opinion, than being like, oh, I haven't even touched myself in 293 days, 4 hours, 16 minutes, and 37, 8, 9 seconds. Fucking veins popping out of your forehead, just trying to hold it together. That's not a good way to go about this. I've been on and off on that NoFap and then back to relapse for years. It felt horrible. And it almost felt like the progress I'd made on those street days weren't even that great because when I relapsed so hard. It just felt like all that work was just for nothing. And it kind of makes sense that it is for nothing because you could have a 5-year streak. But what does that mean if that was 2 years ago? For 2 years, you've been back to doing whatever it was you was doing. So that's why I think it's a much healthier alternative. November is almost over. If you're watching this video before it's over, don't break your streak just because this video. Finish the month out, finish it out strong, but try this out. I think it is something that's easier to follow. It's easier to stick to this. It's just healthier, guys. Much less stressful to live like this rather than counting the days and worrying about if that fap or no fap, whatever. So get yourself busy with something you love. Get rid of the porn, get that out. And if you need a fap, just do it. You guys will be great. I love you all. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like below. You all have a great day. And don't forget, get better every day.